Mabuhay, this is Bob from Love Beyond the Sea, responding to another comment here on TikTok. This one says, if I can read it, question is, don't you feel like you are being used since she will go with anybody willing to pay? I'm former, I think they meant Navy, so a lot of lonely friends did the same. Well, there aren't any questions that I'm not willing to answer or address, as long as they're intended, honest questions, I'll give an honest answer. So I'll just touch on this first part here. By the way, please subscribe to Love Beyond the Sea. I have a channel about marriage to a Filipina. We got married very, very quickly in 2015. We've got about close to 1,600 videos now on YouTube, and I've been cranking them out on TikTok. It's actually on Rumble and Twitter and MeWe and Facebook and some other places too, as I try to get the word out about marrying a Filipina. So as far as will she go with anybody willing to pay, and the pay part, yes, you got to pay for a lot of costs with the visa process when you marry somebody from another country. That just goes with the territory, planes and hotels and food and processing, multiple fees and all that. That's just how it goes. But will she go with anybody? Sometimes it seems like it. I'm not going to disagree with that statement. I've always felt that it's not that difficult to marry a woman from the Philippines. If you're really serious about getting married, the more picky a man is, the more things that he has as must-haves, then that's going to just add to the degree of difficulty for anyone looking to get married. And so I think they're much easier to marry than someone from the West. I'm from America. I was married at age 53, been married over 8 years now. So she won't be willing to go with anybody because, they're not, mercenaries. They don't want to go marry just anybody. And because they know darn well that a lot of times a Filipino will marry a foreigner and she'll go there and be beaten. She'll be enslaved. She'll be mistreated. And she knows this because, number one, she's heard about it from relatives and friends. And number two, there's what's it called, Commission for Filipinos Overseas seminar that she must attend to leave the Philippines. And it will tell them all about the worst things that can happen to her in the hands of a foreign man when she gets there. And she might be having second thoughts almost, but they have to lay it all out there. Look, if this happens, you do this. If that happens, call this number. Get help over here. So they're aware of that. So I think I give them a little credit. They're not going to just marry somebody and put themselves in harm's way. But I do think they are not very picky. I think they probably should learn to be a little bit more picky, the women from the Philippines. But yes, often they're so eager to, I don't know if escape is too strong a word, to get out of the Philippines. They like it there. I mean, their family and friends are there. But, if they're from a very poor part of the Philippines, and not all of them are, but if she is, then she's probably for a while thought about marrying a foreigner to take her out of there. And I think initially to her that is probably more important than any feelings or notion of love. I think she might even tell you she loves you so she can get out of there. And that does not mean necessarily that she's a bad prospect. It doesn't. Now, you could say, what about the word used? Is she using, are these Filipinos using men? Was I used to get married to my wife in only 54 days? Let me know what you think about this, but I wanted to get married. And I know there's a lot of guys across the world that are desperate to get married too, and some of them have had very bad experiences in the West, and so they will try another country like the Philippines, where English is often spoken as a second language, and so they're willing to marry someone that is from a different culture, may have every reason to want to get out of the Philippines. And he probably, if he thinks about it, understands that she is more likely to marry him because he can give her a better quality life. I don't have a problem with that. I don't have a problem if my wife married me because, well, this guy wants to marry me. This guy seems like a decent, serious, trustworthy guy. And after, we talked for 4 hours a day, I proposed to her and we got married in the Philippines. 8 months later, she's here. 8 years and 5 months after that, she's still here. And we get married, and then she arrives, and then we start our life together. And whatever her motivations were, probably the main one was she wanted to provide a better life for herself and the family she loved. But she needed a good, honest guy that she trusted wasn't going to beat her, wasn't going to be unkind to her, that she could marry. And then we'll just see how it goes when she gets here. And excuse me, it's a learning experience for sure. I don't feel used because I struggled for a long time trying to find somebody here in America. No luck, no success. I found a woman willing to marry me. I'm receiving the benefits of marriage. I have a companion, somebody to do things with. I have the sexual part of it, of course, that goes with being married. That's a pretty big deal, right? And whatever else, a traveling companion, somebody to share my life with, somebody to become involved in her life. She's going to have to learn a lot of things, because this is a new country. If I settled down and I was a young person in the Philippines, I'd have a lot to learn, and she'd have to teach me. Somebody would. So I can help her get acclimated here. She's a very bright woman, and she's doing great. So I can invest my life in her. If I was used, it's working out just fine. But I don't know that you can really know 100% what her motivations were. You can always go by what she tells you. But how do you know for sure she really means it? How do you know for sure she even understands what she's feeling? Leaving family and friends and going thousands of miles away to be married to a guy she knows very little in almost all cases until she's married to him. So I don't feel like I'm being used. Now, I think there's one way to find out before I run out of time. If you've been used, well, that's that old, she only married you for a green card or citizenship or for your money. Then she took off. She got there to your country, started messing around with other guys, and she's gone. Well, yeah, in hindsight, pretty clear that man was unfortunately used and either decided not to take seriously some red flags or just didn't see them. But, those of us that have been married 8 years, 10 years, 15 years, there's always people saying, well, just wait another year, she's going to leave you. And they're usually wrong. We've been married long enough to know that we've been investing into our lives together as a couple. And I think she'll be with me until I die. And I think we're committed to each other. So no, I don't feel used, and I readily admit, as I've said many times, I don't think they're going to really feel true love from thousands of miles away. Oh, you might have gone there once or twice for a short 2 or 3 week vacation. But that doesn't mean that's enough for her to love you. They can say whatever they want to get you to propose and to marry them. And that's easy. Talk is cheap. My channel here is all about action, things that you can do in order to stay married. So I'll keep responding to some of these comments. Let me know what you think about it. If you think I'm a simp, that's fine, but I'm happily married for over 8 years to my love beyond the sea.